Chapter XXXVIII, Arcanum 16. The 16th Arcanum is the fulminated tower, which in Kabbalah is known as the Tower of Babel. The Bible refers to this Tower of Babel. The falling of the initiated from this tower, where the initiate forms the inverted pentagram in his downfall, is observed. The sacred sign of the infinite represents the brain, the heart, and sex. If sex dominates the brain, then the downfall occurs. The fulminated tower, the inverted star of 5 points, the upside-down pentagram. Then the human being with the head aiming downwards and with the 2 feet or legs aiming upwards is precipitated to the bottom of the abyss. Let us remember the sacred statement, the infinite is equal to the pent alpha. If we carefully analyze the 16th Arcanum, it invites us to reflect. Who are the ones that fall? Are they those who spill the glass of Hermes? Or actually, it's not a question, it's a statement. They are those. This is why Krum Heller stated, "One must carefully raise the cup aloft." He was referring to the sacred wine. In archaic epochs in ancient Lemuria, I attained the elixir of longevity. This elixir is based on the primordial substance that can grow new life, fresh and green again. It is the nectar of the gods. Paracelsus or Paracelsus named this substance ens seminis, within which the ens virtutis is enclosed. In the continent Mu, or Lemuria, which was situated in the gigantic Pacific Ocean, the White Brotherhood granted unto me this marvelous elixir, the gift of Cupid, with which one can preserve the physical body for millions of years. I preserved my physical body for thousands of years in Atlantis. I was immortal. But the same thing that happened to the Count Zanoni happened unto me when starting the first Aryan subrace. The Count Zanoni fell in love with a chorus girl in Naples, and his immortal body was taken from him because of this. This is how I was left reincarnating myself in distinct bodies until this present time, when I have risen again. One must one must attain a transformation by means of Nu, spelled N-U, the Divine Mother. With her help, we can eliminate the whole of that conjunction of tenebrous entities of Satan. Nu can radically and in a definitive way transform us. It is necessary to perform a complete transformation, that our head and our continents be from Ra, and our body, our hands, and our legs be from Tum. Ra is the Father. Tum is the body of the Father. Tum is a terribly divine mantra and must never be pronounced in vain or played with, because our Father, who is in secret, descends immediately from wherever he might be. We must convert ourselves into workers of the great work of the Father. Ra is the Christ, is life. Ra is the second Logos. Tum is the Father, and the body of the Father, the first Logos. Fire acts and descends when pronouncing Tum. This is a mantra of immense magical sacerdotal power. We can incarnate the Father only when we have developed the 7 degrees of the power of the fire. It is clear that the initiate falls if he violates his vows of chastity. If we Kabbalistically add the numbers of the 16th Arcanum, 1 plus 6 equals 7, we find the 7 degrees of the power of fire, the 7 ladders of the mind. If the initiate falls, then the initiate is fulminated by the 16th Arcanum and rolls downward on those stepladders of the mind. In occult science, it is stated that the initiate is left without Inri, which is ignis, natura renovatur integra, meaning the initiate is a failure when they are left without that in Nuri. This then becomes the fulminated tower. Woe unto those who remain without Inri, they are falling downwards from the tower. The victorious ones, those who achieve the second birth, enter into the order of Melchizedek, into the order of Keb, the genie of the earth. In order for the lunar bodies to remain within the Amenti, one must die, and die. The new comes through, only through death. The true defunct initiates are those who really have killed the eye and have taken possession of the two earths. They can enter into Amenti or here at will. This is why it is said that the initiate is made king and priest of the earth in accordance with the order of Melchizedek. It is clear that if the initiate lets himself fall, then he loses the scepter of command and is precipitated downwards from the tower. Every one of us must fight on the esoteric path, even the twice-born. There are initiates whose throats are stagnant, thus the battle is strong. The more exalted the initiate is, the more terrible and deep is the downfall. We must be careful of the nourishment that the mind receives, careful with newspapers, television, and movies. We must verbally and mentally transmute the seeds with sepulchral offerings. In other words, we must not nourish ourselves with we should not nourish ourselves with refuse. I don't know what that noun is, because this is worthless. I guess he means don't nourish yourself by declining things. Bad literature, bad movies, bad television, bad words are rotten for the mind. You must not forget that we have a terrible legion of devils, which is Kali, the abominable Kundabuffer organ, the frightful Apopi serpent. People are victims of Kali, the tempting serpent of which the Hindus speak. Yeah, so those things, they tempt us, that the bad literature and media, it tempts us. We become addicted to it. We start to believe the things that are a lot of the information that's really just wrong view. The initiate who allows himself to fall loses his crown and sword. The pineal gland and Sahasrara chakra is the crown. The sword is the flaming sword which we must place at the feet of Osiris. The four secret occult pillars are granted unto the triumphant and victorious one. These four secret occult pillars grant power to the initiate over the four regions of the cosmos. 1 is life, 2 is submerged mineral kingdom, 3 is molecular region, 4 is the electronic or spiritual world. The four regions of the cosmos. Interesting, so that seems to be universal for all the planets and galaxies. Or for each planet, solar system, and galaxy. There's life, mineral kingdom, molecular region, and electronic spiritual world. By delving more profoundly into esotericism, we will find that the mid-brow, or the third eye, the center of clairvoyance, is the eye of Horus. Horus is in himself the innermost, our divine being, who is within the arms of our divine mother. The falcon is the symbol of Horus. The falcon of gold strengthens Horus. Yeah, okay, it says here, brackets, pronounced Horus. With the complete death of ourselves. They've been using his name this whole time, and finally they have a pronunciation for it. This falcon of gold is related with the sunrise. We must be in contact with the spiritual sun. We need to strengthen Horus so that we may have the right to ask unto him to strengthen our three brains, intellectual, emotional, and motor. We need to strengthen our three brains for the battle against ourselves, our devil eyes, our egos. Synthesis. When the astral light is coagulated in a flower, we fall in love with the flower. If the astral light is accumulated within a woman, then men fall in love with this woman, and vice versa. The man who lives bewitched by many women does not stop being a weak little bird fulminated by the bewitching eyes of she, the tempter of the astral light. The sorcerers of the astral light are dangerous. Woe unto the Samson of the Kabbalah if he permits himself to be put asleep by Delilah, or Delilah, Delilah, or Delilah, the Heracles of science who exchanges his royal scepter for the distaff of Omphale, will soon experience the vengeance of Dejanira, and nothing will be left for him but the pyre of Mount Oeta in order to escape the devouring folds of the coat of Nessus. Okay, that's pretty hard to follow, honestly. And I thought he was going to say Delilah again. He said Dejanira. That's a quote by Eliphas Levi.